So we actually got to see a little bit of who's who in this episode. Not a little bit, actually, it was a lot of who's who. People really showed up as who they really are as people in this episode. Wasn't looking too good for some of these folks. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. This is season 6, episode 13. As I said, a lot of people's their cards were pulled, and you got to see who they really are as people and as friends on this episode. Let's go. Okay, so at the end of the last episode, Tia Marie has showed up. She's going to be staying with Zell and Paris. She was in New York, so she came back from New York. Of course, I said, what's going on with Tierra? You know, last time we seen Tierra was sex scandal and who put out the tape versus who didn't put out the tape. But, you know, whenever there's Tierra, there's always drama. So I just didn't know what the drama was. But I knew if Tierra Marie was around and there was a camera, there's drama. Sure enough, she coming off the heels of a DUI with a car accident attached to it. So she had banged up a car, you know, driving drunk. She done relapsed. That's it. Girl's always something. This child, always something. So all of that's there. And she was in true Tierra form. She don't want nobody saying nothing. She basically just wanted to vent and didn't want anybody to say anything to her. You know what I mean? Because how dare you? Don't say nothing to Tierra Marie. And she was kind of there, but well, we know Big Mouth Zell and Big Mouth Paris, they were like, girl, we ain't even hearing that. Listen, we're going to tell you, honey, you're out of order and you need to get your shit together. And that's, you know, that's just them. She ended up going into another room and crying. And Zell's like, girl, you can stop all that crying. You can stop all that crying. You know, Zell, you know what? But the thing is, they are the kind of friends that she actually needs. They don't need to be able to be pushed around. Tierra don't need friends that she can push over and move around like chess pieces. She needs someone to tell her, cut the bullshit and tell her the truth. So being with them, I think, may actually be good for her. Only bad thing about Paris and Zell is if you got any tea and it just happens to get spilled, you always know who spilled it. Them two messy asses. So that's the only thing you got to kind of worry about with them. Anyway, moving on. So then we go over to Yo-Yo's house. Yo-Yo sits down with her daughter Tiffany, the one that's pregnant. And she actually has an adult talk with Tiffany. And she basically expresses how, you know, I don't like the whole disrespect of how you are moving. I don't like it. I don't like how you seem, you know, like you don't really appreciate anything and you feel so entitled. And then you just ain't nice. You know, you just ain't nice. And whenever we have something go on here, you take it outside and then you act as shitty when we're out. And I just don't like it. And she says, let me explain my stress. Let me explain to you why I come across stressed. Because I got all of this stuff going on. I'm taking care of you and, you know, my stuff, my mama's stuff. But, you know, I'm keeping the family afloat and it's stress on me. I'm trying to break back into the industry, you know, years out. I'm an older woman now. There's a whole level of stress on top of that. You need to see things from where I stand as well. And she told her, you know, being pregnant now, you're going to learn a lot of stuff. You're going to really get to really understand my world more so than your world now, because your role was getting ready to switch. And I was waiting for her to become very childlike and spoiled and self-centered, and she didn't. which I thought was amazing. She did not at all. She literally took in what her mother was saying, and she basically apologized to her mother and thanked her mother and reassured her mother, no. I know that I am very blessed to actually have you and for you to do all the things you do. It was really good. It was really nice. It was a talk that they needed to have because she's not a child anymore. She's a woman now. She's not a child. So that was really good. That was really good. It really went a different way than what I thought it was going to go. I said, good for you, Tiffany. Moving on to April and Fizz. I don't even know how to feel about these two, but in my eyes, they just come across as liars. Like you all been doing what you're doing, and it just ain't interesting to me. It really isn't interesting. You've lied so long to the point where, like, who even cares anymore? You know what I mean? But he's taking her around. He's supposed to be looking for a house or whatever, and then he shows her this house and basically tells her he wants her to move in with him. So you have a child, and she has two children. You've been staying with her in her apartment. You've been on tour. You've made money. You come back, and you talking about buying a house. You also know, and I don't know if y'all caught this, but I'm going to get in Fizz's ass. I'm just follow with me. You also know that me engaging with you in a relationship is going to have me looking crazy in the court of public opinion. So you know that together we did all this. All this is going on. All of what's going to go on. You know, me and Omarion's going to be all at each other's throat. It's just going to be a whole shit show. And then me and Mo, I got to take on the whole Moniece monster now at this point, and that's going to be a whole shit show. And the best that you have to offer me is you want me to move in with you, not we get this house together, not baby, I'm going to buy this house for you. But the best you could do is you want me to move in with you. You're going to buy you a house and you want me to move in the house with you. So whenever you become uncomfortable or unhappy with me, you're going to throw me and my two kids out. That's what your offer is, Fizz. Baby, listen, let me tell you something. I would have given Fizz about 5 or 6 different ways to kiss my ass. I would have. But see, April basically has shown that she really doesn't have very much self-esteem. She don't think so much or so highly of herself. Not really. And she just basically are, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, you've been walking through this situation like a hot piece of ass. That's what it looks like to me. And you're being treated as such. So my answer would have been, no. I don't need to come over here and be kept by you for a little bit. Yeah, you've been carrying it. Now let me carry it a little while. I don't need to be kept by you. Because when you get kept by a person and there's no jewelry attached, you can be discarded at any time. And most times you do end up getting discarded for a new model when the next hot piece of ass comes by. So, but she was so happy with it. I just looked at her. I was like, I've been looking at you and I thought you were kind of dumb. Now I'm pretty convinced. But whatever. Anyway, y'all kind of deserve each other. Y'all go right ahead on. I was like, girl, that is just stupid. So stupid to me. Anyway, moving on. Princess is out with Paris. Boom. She's 6 months pregnant. Paris is like, what the heck? How'd you had it? And why were you had it? The last time we seen you, you were pregnant? She's like, yeah. And then she kind of explained. Now, I understood that. She explained how, the media drama and all that stuff from the last time when she was pregnant, that it's just easier to just hide it as long as she could and be peaceful with it. And you do need peace when you're pregnant. You don't need to be all stressed out. And Princess don't do well with that kind of stuff. Princess be ready to fight and carry it on. So I understood and it made sense. Um, what I wasn't interested in, she's still upset with Ray. So I was like, girl, you're not ready to give me that your made up storyline. You and Mona and Ray can go ahead with that. I ain't sitting around here wasting time. Y'all got it. She's still mad with Ray, y'all. Then later on we see them and Ray's telling her about how he gonna have to go on tour. She ready to get all upset and then tells her he gonna take her, I guess her pregnant behind and the baby on tour with them. Yeah, okay. All right. Whatever. Moving on. Zell, you messy bitch. Messy, messy, messy bitch with that Sunday comic strip outfit. That outfit was horrible. I was like, oh my gosh. He's a stylist, and it's so crazy to me because Zell has such gorgeous skin. Like his skin is popping. He's dark, and he just like when you look at him, his skin literally looks like chocolate. He doesn't have like blemishes and marks and scars and none of that kind of stuff. His body shape is nice. He really keeps himself together. Not a bad looking kid, and his hair cuts are always batshit crazy. And some of these outfit choices, that outfit was so ugly to me. And it really did look like a Sunday's comic strip. All that shit everywhere. And then it was just the print on the top and the print on the bottom. I was like, oh, that's awful. Just awful. But anyway, enough of that. He ends up going and sits down with Jason Lee and show really how much of a lowlife that he could really be. He basically not only had pictures of Fizz and April, but he actually caught video of them making out and carrying on. He turned all of it on over to Jason, and Jason's in his confessional, and he's teasing. And we already know that. Is there any reason for me to go in on Jason? We already know what Jason does. I'm a fan of Hollywood Unlocked, but yeah, Jason, baby, you destined not to never have friends. That's just the way it is. Destined to never have friends and destined to never be trusted by anyone. A fool, only a fool, would trust Jason Lee because Jason, look, his bottom line is green, period. He pretty much will turn you over for a $5 bill. That's just the way it is. So Zell sold out, sold everything over there to Jason. I guess he said, look, I got to pay my rent. Low life. That was so lowbrow, but whatever. It is what it is. So that's that. Next we see good old Yo-Yo and Apple meet up with a guy named Big Mike. Big Mike is a brand, like he's a brand manager. He manages different acts and helps them to build a brand, and he has connects. Okay, so this is the thing. I'm like, this is great. Like this is the meeting that everybody wants. Okay, everybody. You got your music thing going. You want to do your music, but again, this is where the money's at. Okay, is over there with Big Mike. So, because selling music is touch and go these days. But this right here, she wants to start a shoe line. Big Mike has the connects to be able to do that. So it's like, okay, then first thing is first, we find out she actually had a meeting with Big Mike the week before. She didn't forget. Really, bitch? You forgot. Oh, I got the times mixed up. So you like living this kind of life? You like that? What you got going on? You have to. You have to be telling me that you like what you got going on. You forgot. Yo-Yo's better than me even be sitting there with you. Seriously. She should have been sitting there meeting with Big Mike about her own stuff and left you where the hell you were, forgetting about your damn meeting. But it was good. You needed this meeting. And she sat in this meeting and she sat across from him and he flipped out his phone and he shows her some shit that she did on Instagram Live. Just a old drunken ass. Just, I don't even know what to call how you presented yourself on that Instagram Live. It was horrific. It didn't look like anybody that I would put any part of my name on. Just drunked up, cussing the people out and carrying on. And then she had the nerve to say, I don't see nothing wrong with that. She laughing. You look around the table and another motherfucker there laughing. Is you serious? Come on, Apple. What are you giving? Sit up there looking simple. And then she said, Cardi B does it. But you ain't Cardi B. And what social media have you been following? Because the shit don't work for Cardi. That's why her ass is always issuing apologies and backpedaling and pussy popping. You think that's working? That ain't working. Because eventually, if Cardi don't get it together and straighten up, ain't nobody going to be looking at her. Are you joking here? But he explained further, how he has all the connects. This, that, and the other. She's still sitting there, I'm just blunt. That's just me. This is how I do it. Okay. That's just how you do it. And what you're going to continue to do is popping your ass for dollar bills and shopping at the penny candy store. Because you think all this shit right here that you're doing, you think that's cute. How much longer do you think you're going to be on this show? Girl, please. She wasn't getting it. Then he told her, I presented you and your brand and who you were to some of my connects. And they said no. They weren't willing to attach their brands to your brand. Now she's sitting over there and the smile has miraculously disappeared from her face. She's sitting over there looking and feeling stupid. Here's your big meeting, the one that you were graced to actually have a redo on, and you done blew it. So he gave her some advice. Clean it up. Clean it up. And we'll try, we'll go back at it again. We'll look back into it later on. But clean it up. Right now, it's a no. If that doesn't jar you into something different, Apple, I don't know what will. Because I felt the whole pain of that brick wall that you just got slammed into. I hope you felt it, because I sure did. I was like, oh my goodness. It was like a rag doll being slammed against a brick wall. So I hope you felt the whole impact, because I did. Ridiculous. I was so disgusted with that. I was like, Apple. And I did. I wanted to see Apple win. But, like, seriously? I've been up and down with Apple ever since she came into the program. It's like I'll be rooting for her and pushing for her, and next thing you know, she'll do something real stupid. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens from here, but I like ragdoll against a brick wall. That's just how that whole thing just felt for me. But anyway, moving on. So Mickey has a single release party, and it's a skating party in pajamas. You know, I like dumb, stupid stuff like this that don't really go together. It's just fun. I like that kind of stuff. But this was this party was messy, messy, messy boots. And it kind of was like a consensus of like nobody in that group is really feeling Fizz in April. As a matter of fact, it seems as though everybody in the group has basically kind of taken offense to the fact that they've been treating them as if they were all clowns and basically lying to them. And I don't think anybody in the group really appreciated it. I don't. Booby had the nerve to be with attitude. He's the first one with his phone out, like, look at this, you just see this? Because it was just like the night before Jason had dropped the information, didn't come on to the party. Jason was so happy with himself that it was disgusting. He was just as happy with it and here for the drama of it all. I was like, Jason, that's terrible. But Booby was like, I got an attitude. You know what I mean? I'm like, Booby, sit down. Because there's so many words they done told you and you just didn't want to accept it. You want to, for some reason, you got a little hard on for April. You're not getting any of April right now. You can get some later. Trust me, you'll be able to get it later. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just keep the tip stiff, honey. It'll be available to you later. Her and Fizz ain't gonna be long. Just chill out. Just hold on. But they were all indulged. And I was like, y'all looking real shady right now. Like all of y'all, everybody, Paris, Zale, Jason. I ain't even gonna put Booby in that. Mickey kind of was on the thing, like, I ain't mad at them, but you kind of get what you get. I was like, ain't none of y'all being real friends. Like, y'all are all like kikiing at this point at what Jason did and what Zale did. Like, come on, y'all. That's ugly. But anyway, then Moniece rolls in. And then everybody's like, waiting. Now everybody's waiting, honey. Like a whole pack of wolves. They just waiting for the shit to happen. So at this point, I was like, this is weird. So Moniece shows up. They put her down with what's going on. And basically in her confessional, she says she basically always knew they were screwing. But the fact that they sat in her face, they sat in her face. And she felt like Fizz basically had the baby lying to her. Can't say that I feel really bad for you because you know what, Moniece? You made some questionable moves too. Remember, you tried to align yourself with April to be able to watch her and said you were playing that game of keep your enemy close. But that little whore was just a little bit faster than you, and she was screwing him. And you can say what you like in your confessional. You say what you want, Moniece. But it's one thing to think you know. It's another when you know that you know. And baby, you were completely worked at the fact that it's out there and that they are definitely screwing. And it showed all over your face. You got all into your feelings. You went into that bathroom, you and Tierra, and you got all worked up and you're going into how you feel disrespected, this, that, and the other. When you come out, here Fizz and April have shown up. That April threw a whole shade at you. Because they were pinning you all up to, this is where I say everybody's card got shown. Because they wanted to see it. They wanted to see the whole fight and the fallout and the screaming and the yelling. They wanted to see old Moniece show up, and they wanted to see April carry on like she carries on to see if she really about that life. You all the friends, the so-called friends, were waiting to see this. And I think nothing would have made y'all happier than if they would have really got to fighting. Not very good friends. Not very good friends. Wasn't a good look on none of y'all. And then, Moniece, you came out and when April said, they said, did you tell April? Did you ever tell Moniece that y'all were messing around? She said, I didn't have to. What was that all about? I got him now. Now, so what? Who cares? That was like a whole different energy than what y'all been having going on. That was shady. I was like, and you already know Moniece don't even play like that. So, like, what is you doing? But you feel like you got Fizz on your side now. So, the hell with Moniece, right? You done locked it down. I was like, oof, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. And then they basically curbed her and didn't give her what she wanted. They wouldn't give Moniece any play. They weren't going to get into an argument with her. It's like, girl, psh, paid her dust, made her look real stupid. And she did. She looked real stupid. They walked off like, we're going to go skate. They were so unbothered by you and the fact that you were upset or any of that. So and basically what you should have did was sucked it up for that and went on. If you had to go cry on the way home or something, you should have left it alone because you made yourself look like an ass when you stood there in that group of jackals that you call friends and you were just babbling on and going on about how pissed off you were and how you going to handle it later and all of this. And they were all just, the camera was just panning around and each individual was just looking at her like, girl, you look stupid as hell. They just curbed you. You mad as hell and they over there putting on their skates, paying your ass dust. And they all but laughed in your face. They wanted to laugh. They were waiting for you to act a fool because that was going to be entertainment. And when it didn't, you didn't get the chance because the other group wouldn't buy in. They just listened to you rant solo. And they held their laughter in. Moniece, you looked a whole damn fool. A whole damn fool. And you were embarrassed. And the biggest part of it was you were embarrassed because you thought you were ahead of the 8 ball. And you messed around and got mashed with it in the eye. Try it again next week, girl. Try it again next week. Circle of friends like this, you don't need no real enemies.